Welcome to the first episode of HakSploit, where we bring you the latest security updates through this podcast. Before we go into today's security topic, let me just clear up that not only we talk about security, but also other technology-related topics. As always, I'm your host, William, and joining us in the second half of the show is Gibson Lin, but we'll get into that later. Hello everybody, sitting beside me is our wonderful editor, Leo Tao.
Hi.
So let's quickly jump into our first topic. Now, back in the year 2006, Internet Explorer users were at risk for 284 days. Now, can you believe that? So if you're listening to this podcast and still using Internet Explorer, then shame on you. I have to say that now I always use Firefox or Opera and rarely Internet Explorer. Now I only use it when both Firefox and Opera dies, which is almost impossible because Internet Explorer always dies before them, Yeah. Anyway, according to the number from the Washington Post Security Fix blog, throughout the last year, 77% of the time, there were exploits and unpatched critical vulnerabilities. On the other hand, Mozilla's Firefox only suffered a single period of vulnerability lasting about 9 days. And for that reason, Microsoft released Internet Explorer 7, a rewritten version of its old IE 6. Their goal was to focus on security and make Internet Explorer 7 better with a better interface? I don't know, okay. After a week later, Internet Explorer 7 was launched, Firefox 2 was released with the improved anti-phishing technology, and the hype went over to the new Firefox. Since we have talked about web browser in the last segment, so I find it interesting to say about password management, and I want to stick with web browsers in this show. So joining us today is a special guest, and his name is Gibson Lin. So here.
Hi.
I know that a lot of people use this IE and Firefox, so could you say a little bit about that?
Internet Explorer and Firefox amass roughly 95% of all browsers.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. I mean, Mozilla and Microsoft really got a lot of people into it. Anyways, let's get back to the topic. Right, I want to clear up these questions for some of the users because they might not know. So, what exactly is a cookie? Is it something that we eat? I mean, is it the ones?
No, indeed. It's autocomplete and password manager that has the feature to store your usernames, password, and URLs on browser. When the user revisits the same website, and the browser will automatically fill the fields.
Oh, I see. So nowadays, a lot of people need to for what reason? I mean, because I usually don't use autofill. Some people may not even know it.
That's exactly true. Password managers are tied directly to the difficulty of memorizing numerous sets of usernames and passwords.
Okay. So nowadays, I know another reason, because there's some security problems with it, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later. But it can be stolen, can it?
Yes, of course.
Right. So let's just see in IE and Firefox what's the different security for that. Okay. So I guess the first thing I'm really asking is they have to store the autofill somewhere on your computer, right? So where is it gonna store it? So let's begin with Internet Explorer, any version that you like.
In IE4 to IE6, autocomplete web forms information is stored in registry. On Internet Explorer 7, autocomplete information is stored in the registry as well, but in a slightly different location.
Okay, I guess Microsoft didn't release the information about that, or just didn't get it. Anyways, right, so on Firefox 1.5 and 2.0, the newly 2.0, I'm really all the hype about it. So where is it gonna store that information?
On Firefox URLs, username and password are stored in a file called scions.txt.
Okay. Yeah. So that perfectly makes sense. But where does it store? I mean, Firefox and Tuber, they gotta store it somewhere, right?
The location is randomly chosen when Firefox is installed. The scions.txt file is created the first time that any login for a website is saved. Subsequent logins for different URLs are inserted into the file. It is irrelevant to the password manager if the site is accessed using Hypertext Transfer Protocol or HTTPS. URLs are not encrypted because they are used as a reference lookup for matching login credentials.
Okay. So I see now. Okay. I guess my next question is how are they supposed to access the mechanics behind this so that users don't realize what's really into this? So let's talk about IEs first before we get into Firefox, as we always do.
IE 426 use PS Store to save the access user sensitive information, include username and password entered on web forms in IE.
Okay. I know that a recent publication. Well, it might not be recent, as you may listen to this podcast in the future years to come. In the recent publication of Microsoft Press, we left out a lot of information as always. So can you explain a little bit more about that if you know anything? Okay.
I'll try my best.